is the frequency news. Yeah, me too. Is the frequency in your emergency or priority traffic? Find business if there is. If you have an emergency, prefer you call 911, but you can call here and we'll help you out in any way we can. Just say break a couple of times. You can break any time for that. The information on this net can be seen on our website, 146415.net, 146415.net, and or you can look on Yahoo Groups under Mike Juliet. It's MJ_SS. Or you can send me an email at Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.net. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night, usually. And we conduct a net on 146.415 FM Simplex, astoundingly similar to our website address, minus a decimal. The purpose of the net is to support and train ham radio operators for emergency communications and hopefully have some fun doing it. By the way, you can see us on the live stream. Either you can search for me on Brain Trusts, one word, BRAINTRUSTS, or you can look under my call, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey on YouTube. Either one of those on YouTube. You can probably find it under Simplex as well. We invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events, activities, resources, and training in support of the local community. It's a directed net, and all traffic should be coordinated through me, if I can speak properly. And are there any announcements for the net tonight? I don't hear any. Well, anyway, the big announcement is the 18th and 19th. I think I said it wrong last net. Huntsville, August 18th and 19th. August 18th and 19th. You can see it right there. There's the flyer. Be there or be square. It's a big event. It's probably the biggest, one of the bigger events here in the South, other than, we'll say Hamvention in Orlando, which is probably 3 times the size of Huntsville. But this is the closest one. I don't advise going to Orlando for the February event. It's busy and it's difficult, and I didn't like it. Not that that means anything. Anybody have any other announcements before I move on to my announcements? Is this on? Okay, we got the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club, of course, every Thursday. That's at 8 p.m. 147.105 plus offset and a 156.7. We've got that's on Thursdays, 8 p.m. And then on Mondays, we got the, let's see, the Vanderbilt University has their club net, AA4VU. We need to help those college people because they need help. And so that's 443.800 is the repeater frequency plus offset in a 123 PL. That's Vanderbilt. That's every Tuesday at 7:30. Then of course our net, which is next Wednesday on a 140. I think it's 146.415 FM. And we've got the Cedars of Lebanon, which I believe is later this month, which I think is if that's the 18th. It must be the 26th, which is a Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's the 26th. You guys can check that out yourself on Cedars of Lebanon website. Any other announcements? Well, very good. Then I'll start taking check-ins just about now. If you'll hang on 1 second.
Join us for the Bible study net.
Alrighty, had another frequency jumping in there on me on my radio. Anybody else? Well, no, I got a second check-ins. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to start taking check-ins tonight from the south first. K4PEW looking for check-ins south of Interstate 40. Please come.
KE4SYB.
Good to see you this morning, Larry. You doing all right?
Yeah, I had a good time at the breakfast.
You can't help it. All the hams that show up and the ones that even don't show up are good guys.
Oh, yeah. You surprised me starting at the south first, so I jumped in there.
I know. Well, that's probably the biggest group is usually from the south, but I leave them till last sometimes. But I thought I'd give them a chance to go first. Yeah, you're doing real fine, Larry. Good to have you in there and good to see you this morning. Who else? We got south of 40. Please come in.
Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee Bill.
Hey, Bill, you sound actually very good tonight. What happened?
I went out and had lunch.
You think that helped your signal?
That would give me a little more get up and go.
Yeah, no, you did fine. No, you sound better than you did the other day. That's what I'm asking.
I haven't changed anything.
We must have some weird conditions in from your house to my house. I'm telling you, because I could barely hear you the other day.
I imagine the weather in that plays a big thing on it. So.
Yeah, and somebody parking a truck in front of your house or something, a big van or something. All right, Bill, good to hear you in there. You got a great signal. KM4, that's no Kilo Mike 4 November Yankee, and that's Bill in Murfreesboro. And prior to that was Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee, Victor Larry in Rockville. Who else is out there? South of 40, please come in.
K4 OFO.
Hey, how you doing, Donnie? You sound good?
Good, thank you. I was going to make breakfast this morning, put it on my calendar and everything. Had it all planned out, good for my calendar.
Well, you know what they say, the road to hell is paved with, I think it's good intentions. But we had a good group. There could have been another probably dozen if everybody, well, there's other conflicts, of course, I understand. No sin not to show off, but you missed a good time.
I felt like I need to spend a little time here with him.
I missed part of the spend time with you?
My grandson, he just got his ticket. He's fixing to go for his extra here the next month or so.
Oh, that's great. How old is he?
He's 18.
Oh, that's awesome. 18 and getting his extra. Boy, I wish I would have done that when I was 18.
Yeah, he's really worked hard at it. He's a student at Tennessee Tech, so he's really gotten into it, primarily into antennas and all. I'm hearing all his theories and things, so I hope to learn something there. So it's good to hear it from you tonight, and everybody else. I'll turn it back over to them. Hope we have a good crowd.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's nice about being 18 and going to school. You actually know more than everybody else on the planet. You didn't catch that, did you, Donnie?
Well, I was just trying to think when I was 18. I didn't think I knew quite that much.
I knew more than my parents did at 18. That's for certain.
I have to tell you this. When my dad was living, I used to kid him a lot about it. He thought it was so funny. My dad had an 8th grade education, but had a college or university common sense. I mean, just super smart. I used to kid around with him and tell him, I said, I remember the worst whipping I ever got in the world is when me and you both was in the 3rd grade and I passed and you failed.
Yeah, that's great. No, it's amazing how some people just naturally have a lot of knowledge and sense, and you have no idea where they got it. Just life gives it to them, I guess.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it's good, and he's really into it, so I hope he does well with it. Well, good to hear from you. I'm gonna turn it back over to Ned. Thank you.
Yeah, just make sure he gets on the air. Getting the ticket's only the first part. Well, he's on the 3rd part, but it's only the first part. You got to get on the air to be a good hand. All right, who else we got south of 40? Please come in.
K1SPD.
Hey, Scott, how are you this evening?
Caught off guard. You went south.
Yeah, that makes it sound bad. When you say something went south, it sounds like it went bad.
Oh, well. Usually I just drag and wait for everyone else to check in, but I figured I had to jump in here or you leave south behind.
No, I never do that. Never. You guys are the bigger group is actually in the south usually. So it's and the reason I usually go last with them is because the other ones have to wait through you guys, but that's okay. Well, I try to move it around. All right, appreciate you being in there, Scott. Who else south of 40? Of course, that's Scott. Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta, and he's in Laverne. And prior to that, which I forgot to mention, was Kilo 4 Oscar Foxtrot Oscar Donnie, just south of Mount Juliet, actually in Hermitage on the east side of Percy Priest Lake, about 6 miles or so, 7 miles south of Mount Juliet. Who else south of 40?
Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec.
Hello, Preston. How you doing this evening? Sound good.
How you doing? Well, just out here on the porch, kind of enjoying the afternoon. Had the grandbaby over. She's gonna stay tonight and probably keep me entertained for a while there. Copy.
Yeah. Well, I tell people I wanted a girl, I had 3 boys, and the problem was that I realized after a few years that girls, whether they're your child or your grandchild, they wrap you around your little finger. A girl does, anyway.
Absolutely. Well, good afternoon to you, or evening rather there, Paul. Sounding good this way. KM4CCQ.
Yep, enjoy that granddaughter. K4PEW, Mount, yeah, the Mount Juliet Simplex. Who else we had? That's a Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec, in Possum Trot. Who else south of 40? Please come in.
K4ID.
Hey, Robin, how you doing this evening? You travel well today, did you?
I did. Glad to be back home. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's always good to be back home and feel a little more settled. It's always unsettling to travel, I think.
Well, we had a nice trip. I'm glad to be home. Glad to have a day tomorrow before I have to go back to work on Monday.
Oh, yeah, very good. Do you still, well, we're going to do some, if you want to do the swap trade, swindle, and swap net, but do you still have some stuff you want to list? Keep it in mind, and we'll post it again if we have to.
Roger that. I do still have stuff. Thank you for reminding me about that.
All right, very good. Who else south of 40? Please come now. That was Robin, Kilo 4, India Delta Charlie, just down near Hobson Pike, where Hobson Pike splits off from Mount Juliet Road, just 4 or 5 miles south of Mount Juliet. Who else south of 40? Anybody else south of 40? All right, we'll move over to the east then, east of Mount Juliet Road.
WA4ZHI.
Hey, James, how are you? Good to see you again this morning.
Yeah, it's good to see a lot of people there.
Yeah, we always say it's good to see everybody, and we're sorry the others didn't show up because it was like one of the, like Kevin said, I wish he was, so and so would have showed up. I've never met him, and that's kind of the fun of the breakfast is meeting people you haven't seen before.
Yeah, it was a nice, friendly crowd.
Well, if it wasn't friendly, I don't think we'd show up, would we?
Not for long.
Yeah, very good. Hope your family's well.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
Ah, very good. All right, good to have you in there, James. And of course, that's James Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India, and he is in heart of Mount Juliet, just a little east of the library, as a friend of mine used to say. Who else south of 40? I mean, east of Mount Juliet Road, please. Excuse me. East of Mount Juliet Road.
TE4TWI.
Hey, Wes, good to see you this morning.
Yep, had a lot of fun. I made it back safely on my bike. I crossed Mount Juliet Road with no accidents.
Oh, no, it's not crossing Mount Juliet's the problem. It's other people crossing Mount Juliet's the problem.
Yeah, I know, but it all worked out. Had a lot of fun. All right, TE4TWI.
Yeah, you got a good signal again tonight there, Wes, and that was Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India down a little bit northwest of Watertown. Beautiful downtown Watertown. Who else south of or east of Mount Juliet Road, please come.
K4DZ.
Hello, Earl. You doing all right? Sorry you couldn't make it to the breakfast this morning.
Yeah, me too. I just, well, I didn't know anything about it there actually, but anyway, maybe next time I'll get out and expand my getting out of the box and out of my safety zone and coming over there one of these days and surprise y'all and whatever. I don't know. Might be a surprise or might not be. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, very good. You're not on the mailing list, on the notation list for on the Yahoo list.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not really for sure or not. I went in there and created a Yahoo account and whatnot like that, where I could. I'm still trying to learn how to manipulate that that new finky thing, and I'm not really sure if I'm on the list or not.
All right, we'll try to figure that out for you. Okay. Next time we get together, or either I don't know, maybe someday or you can get with somebody to do it with you if you're not sure how to do that. Or I can meet you at a McDonald's or something where we have internet access and try to do it from there. You just let me know and we'll get her figured out. Good to have you. It would be good to have you on the list though, because that kind of keeps you posted about the, both the nets as well as other stuff we got going on, which isn't a whole lot, but it's enough to, I just hate that people miss the events, you know. All right, very good. And maybe I'll see you at the Palms. Keep saying Palm. The Cedars of Lebanon. You can go into that one, I take it.
Man, it's been hot out there today. I've been working on my lawnmower, and I'm still working on it and whatnot like that. So I got the light set up out there and everything. I'm just kind of, man, sweating like a wash rag over here, staying overly hydrated, which is a good thing because you just never know when that daggone heat stroke's going to daggone flare up on you. And it's sneaky like a snake, right?
Yeah, I've had events like that myself. I missed some of what you said earlier, but about a little earlier, I doubled with you, but my mistake. But yeah, I've had that when I've been working really hard, and what you have to do is just stop, sit down in the shade, and get a drink of water for about 30 minutes. Just you definitely don't want to have heat prostration or prostration, I think it's called. Yep, good to have you in there, Earl. You sound good. And that was Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. And maybe we can get together. We'll see each other at the Cedars of Lebanon.
Yeah, if everything holds out and everything, my mind don't give out, I've got intentions to be there. We'll see what happens. KE4 or DEZ, back to that.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Earl. Again, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu in Noreen, just east of the Cedars of Lebanon. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road?
The 4 EBX.
Yeah, there's another breakfast goer who wants to go 4 times a month.
Why not? Had a good time this morning. A lot of good fellas there. And a lot of good conversation. So I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. So they give you another number to check in.
Don't need no numbers. We want live hams. No, I think appreciate you being there, Eddie. That was Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray with his. That new I say new. That vertical you just got reinstalled is still working good, huh?
Yeah, it seems pretty good. I can hear Wes real good.
Yeah, that's great. Of course, I think he's got a 10-element beam now pointed kind of in our direction. That's helpful, but having your new verticals up there, that's great.
Yeah, that helped me out 100%.
Yeah. Is there anybody else that you're hearing well from that, with the new system, or haven't you paid attention?
I think I've heard everyone except Larry. If I knew which direction my log periodic was aiming, I could probably aim it toward him and hear him good.
You have to go. You need a spotter, is what you need. Somebody to stand under the tower to relay with an HT to tell you where you need to point.
Yeah, kind of like the parents used to get you to stand with the TV antenna and turn it around where they can get a good picture.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, appreciate you being there, Eddie. And that's Eddie Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray, and he's about 4 or 5 miles east of 171 Mount Juliet Road and south of 40 there. Who else south of 40? Please come in.
I don't know where I'm at, but I'll try to check in if you want me to. TJ4 Jim Arch.
Oh, that'd be great. Great, Ray. Hold on one second. KJ4. I was wanting to write it down before I forget what you just said. But yeah, how you doing there, Ray?
We just like I said, that heat stroke, it'll sneak up, smack you in the face. You're in trouble with it. It happened Monday. They had to haul me down there and put a bunch of water on me to cool me down and slow me down. And told me I didn't need to be out in the heat anymore the rest of this week. Anyway, I've been out in it anyway, so I'm gonna set this weekend out.
What were you doing when that happened?
I moved a bunch of cars around the old style way. I don't have that arm that just runs out there and grabs the wheels and raises it up. Mine, you have to kick the legs and everything. You got to fight with them to get them in. It got hot quick.
Yeah, what was that on the pavement, was it?
It was out there in the field, grass, weeds, and everything else.
Man, it must have been hot. Of course, you're not getting any younger. I think you knew that, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I was you know, it was Monday, so you know how hot it was Monday.
Yes, I do. And yeah, I've had those events. I've never had to be. Who threw the water on you, by the way? You didn't go anywhere, did you?
Oh yeah, that boy was with me. Called me over at the hospital. He done seen what happened. I done laid down in the seat. I was done for it.
Wow. Be glad somebody was there.
He stays around. He helps me all the time. So, you know, hey, I kind of look after him. He looks after me.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous because you can actually. I'm not sure what's the ultimate if you if you don't get treated, what happens? You just have a heart attack and die? Is that what happens?
Sometimes it turns into a stroke like my person did. And then I wound up really staying in the hospital for a while. So, they just give me some more. I just got to I quit sweating. That's what it was. I got to sweating real bad, and I sat down in the truck, and that one, the air conditioner just went down on it. I was trying to cool off, and I couldn't cool off. Next thing I know, I was laid over the seat. He scooted me over the seat, carried me over to the hospital.
Wow. Yeah, doesn't sound good. I'm glad you're all right though. That's kind of scary. It's even scarier for him than it was for you, I think.
Yeah, kind of got spooky for a few minutes. Anyway, we come back in, sit around here. I've been in and out all week doing different things, but I've been staying around the cool air. But, yeah, I'll get better. But the breakfast, where do y'all used to have a breakfast over there?
We have it at the Barbecuties on Mount Juliet Road, right by the railroad tracks.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I heard y'all talking about it.
Yep, we'd be happy to have you there. We have a good time just chewing the fat about ham radio and other silly things.
Oh, you want another call sign, my wife?
Oh yeah, we'll take that in there, sure.
It's KJ4HNV.
Yep, Hotel November Victor. Very good. I've forgotten your wife's name. I'm sorry.
Zoe.
Yeah, that's a cool first name. Is that a run in her family, that name Zoe?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I know it ended with her because none of my kids has got it. None of my grandbabies wound up with it.
No, that's a nice name. It really is. It's unique because you don't see that very often.
Well, anyway, she's been my sweetheart since 17.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I've only had 3 wives. I've been married about 45 years, and if you total them all up together.
Oh no, I'm out here done that many on one. I've been married to her 42 years. I'm 67, she's 60.
Wow, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. So that's refreshing to hear that, Ray. All right, very good. Give my regards to your wife Zoe, and good to hear from you. Be welcome. We do that every month, second Saturday of the month. There at be happy to have you there. Be great. Good to have you in there, Ray. That was Kilo Juliet 4 Golf. He calls it General Motors Rejects, but it's Golf Mike Romeo, and his wife KJ4 Hotel November Victor, and they're in Cottontown. I did get that right. You're in Cottontown, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right down here in the top side of Cottontown.
Yeah, very good. Appreciate you being there, Ray, and appreciate you checking. I'm glad you're all right. That would be a little scary. That would be a lot scary. All righty. Who else we got? Where was I? East of Mount Juliet Road. Was there anybody left in east of Mount Juliet Road? I think there was a double in there, but Stan's first, Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Sorry, couldn't make it this morning, Stan.
Yeah, I got up too late.
Yeah, that's all right. Me and the alarm clock don't get along too well either. All right, very good, Stan. Good to have you in there. You sound good. That's Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. He is just a little bit north of downtown Lebanon. All righty. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road? Nothing. We'll go up to the north of Division Street, north of Lebanon, Lebanon Road.
Board JRM.
Okay, there was a triple in there, but I think I heard. Was there somebody from east first after Stan that I missed?
Yeah, Paul, just me. It's KK4W.
Yeah. Is that your first name? Just? Like just me? What are you, Chinese?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good, Bill. We were using your name in vain this morning, talking about how the Simplex Net, not on purpose, but it was one of those things we rolled into helping other groups to get their things in order, and your name came up in it.
Well, my ears were burning. Yeah, definitely. My plan was to be there this morning, but my son flew in from Australia last night, so we were late picking him up and wanted to be here before he headed back up to Louisville. So sorry I missed you this morning. And yeah, definitely Simplex Net has definitely spun to a lot of positive throughout the ham world here.
Well, I'm glad it has. It was not purposeful because my first purpose was to have fun and get to meet more people and kind of have a sense of community locally, and it turned into kind of a multi-county simplex operation, and I never expected to be this big, and also to get WEMA on board with some other stuff and getting their shoes on the right foot, so to speak. And you were instrumental in doing that, among other things. We're also talking about you helping put together that the Ham Quest, which was pretty successful, I thought.
Oh yeah, it was a good year again, and we had a lot of fun the first year, Paul. You were involved in it, of course, on the committee, and we got it off on the right track thanks to your help and many others. So we're just going to continue growing it and keep the forward momentum.
Maybe next year you can get up a billboard on I-40.
Hey, maybe next year what we should do is we should have the theme of the event Simplex, perhaps, and I'm serious about that.
Well, if you would put up a Simplex talk-in frequency, maybe that would work.
Let's consider that done, my friend.
I always get a kick out of that because on the Huntsville, I'm pretty sure on Huntsville, I didn't look on this year's, but on their website it says it has the talk-in frequency for Fusion, talk-in frequency for DMR, talk-in frequency for the analog repeater there in Huntsville, and it doesn't ever mention Simplex. And I thought, how silly is that?
Okay, we'll be the first. We'll just be the first. We're just gonna blaze the ground.
Yeah, it'd be great. All right, Bill, good to have you in there. And that's Bill. And you are in, I forget, it has something to do with possums.
Yeah, it's Possum Town. Yeah, we're up here about 8 miles north of 68 miles north of Lebanon, near Friendship Christian.
Yeah, very good. Well, you got that other Preston down there in Possum Trot. That's why I get confused because I knew you were Possum something. I didn't remember Possum Town. I'm going to start a place over here, an unnamed place, and just rename it Possumville.
We are known for a good Christmas parade, though, and I'm being sincere with that. They have a pretty good parade, from what I've been told.
Huh? Boy, that's not very what do you call it? Politically correct, is it? What do they have? Christmas parade with no Santa and no creche and no nothing, just presents.
We're gonna have to get a float in that one, or maybe even in the one downtown Lebanon, amateur radio float. That'd be pretty cool. A trailer on the back with Frank, on a ham radio doing some HF work.
Yeah, nobody know what the heck he was doing. They would think they were being monitored or something by the government. I don't know. Anyway, no, good to have you in there, Bill. That's Bill in Possum Town, and that's north of Lebanon, a couple miles, and that's KK4WU. Anybody else north of Lebanon Road, north of Division Street?
In 4JRM. India Bravo.
All right, hang on, Richard. I've got James in there. It was good to see you this morning too, James.
Yeah. Good breakfast, good times.
Yep, always fun. I got some pictures I have to post too. Nothing special. Everybody looks reasonably well except for me. But yeah, you got a good signal as always. Now that you got your system figured out, you sound great.
Well, I'm on the mobile about to turn into the driveway, so I just listened as we were coming. So I could have called in there, in a couple of spots south of I-40 east, south, and I'm back on the north.
Yeah, you'll be classified as a rover. Yeah, good to have you in there, James. And that's James, November 4, Juliet, Romeo, Mike, Mobile, in Mount Juliet. Richard, I heard you in there.
Hey, good evening to you. I had a real good time at the breakfast this morning and look forward to next month. And I don't know exactly, I forget the dates of the season 11 gathering, but I'm going to plan on coming up there too. I hope you can hear me okay on this Kenwood handheld.
Yeah, I can hear you on the handheld fine. I don't know how many other, maybe Kevin can hear you. And just remind me on the next breakfast to not bring up certain names and topics, and you can avoid that blood pressure that when you started your rant on something, I forget what it was.
Well, yeah, I get kind of carried away at times, but that's a long time ago, and I hope it stays back there.
No, I know. No, it's just it's everybody will do that at some point. It's just it's nice to be passionate about things, you know. Just it is really. It's the people who just don't say get any passion about anything. They're kind of boring.
Well, I'm going to make a phone call to a young man about all that and see if I can't rattle the bushes a little bit. I don't know if I'll do any good or not, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
All right, sounds good. We've rattled enough cages with our anti-repeater work here.
That's fine. The more the merrier. By the way, I'm talking on two different handhelds at one time at different points in time. This is the FT65, and the other one's the little Kenwood Tribander I've been messing with.
Okay, it's not simultaneously right here. It's stereo, right?
No, I'm doing one and then the other.
No, that one. Which one were you just on just then?
This is the Kenwood. This is the Yaesu.
The Yaesu comes in a little better audio.
Well, believe it or not, the Yaesu has got a little bit better audio quality on receive as well.
Yeah, very good. I wouldn't have guessed that because Kenwood always brags about their audio. You know how they are.
Yeah, well, I just shot that down with this little FT65.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, and that's Richard, Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo. And you're in the handheld where? Are you at home?
No, I wish I was. No, I'm at, the reason I called in from the north side, I'm at my mother-in-law's over here at the intersection of Salisbury and Salisbury Ferry Road.
Was that part of your prison release program to go over there?
Every once in a while, yeah, what I need to or not.
That's Richard over at his mother-in-law's on a mission of mercy. Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo. I'm not sure, where is your mother-in-law? Where is that? Where did you say it was?
It's about a quarter-mile west of Lakeview Elementary School.
Okay, quarter mile west of Lakeview Elementary School, and I don't know where that is. So I imagine most people do, but I don't. Where is? Tell me real quick where that is.
It's on Saundersville Road at the intersection of Saundersville and Saundersville Ferry.
Okay, up there by the lake.
Exactly.
Okay, very Saundersville Road and Saundersville Ferry. Got it. I know where about that is. I've only been up there a couple of times. All right, who else? North Lebanon Road, please come in.
W14G.
Hey, how are you? This must be Fred. No, I don't think it is Fred. Am I getting that? I'm getting your name wrong, aren't I?
Yeah, if you're referring to me.
Yeah, I said Fred, and it's Jeffrey. I'm sorry, Jeff. How are you doing this evening? Didn't hear from you in a week or so.
Yeah, it's Jeff. Well, late last Saturday, 4th net, so I'm gonna do that tonight. But I was able to stay awake and get in here and join in.
Well, you got some pretty long hours and a couple of jobs. Keeps you kind of busy.
It does. I was pretty busy today, so last week I sat in the recliner after I got home and showered. Next thing I know, it's about 9:30 and I'm waking up, so I guess I needed the rest.
Oh yeah, well, you know what they say: all work and no play. You don't spend any time on ham radio. That's what that says.
Yeah, if I had better antennas, I'd spend more time. But the way that and the propagation's been lately, it's just whenever, you know. But I was going to get a better VHF, UHF antenna.
Well, all things in good time, and if you got the time, the money, and the motivation, and sometimes that motivation is tough when you're tired from working all day. I know that when I I was working long hours and really tough jobs. It's hard to get too motivated to do much after hours.
That's true. All you want to do is get something to eat, just kind of rest and get ready to do it again the next day.
Yeah, but you got a good signal here, though, Jeff. You're doing fine. And of course, that's Jeff Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf in Madison. Good signal to me. Who else north of Lebanon Road?
KG4 SFF.
Yeah, hold on, Charles. Had somebody doubled with you. Who was that doubling there? Say again. Oh, is that Steve up there?
Yeah, way up here. Take word of the team.
All right, I'll take you first so conditions don't change. How are you doing, Steve? Still there, Steve? Well, conditions are up and down. You got a little spotty there. You try again, please. Yeah, not good. He was good on the first call and nothing on the second. You still there, Steve? No, he got in there just fine with a check-in, but can't follow it up. Conditions must have changed radically. That's Steve. He's up just north of Bowling Green. It's November 4 Whiskey Kilo Uniform. I think I got that right. Well, I think I do have it right. I know it's Whiskey Kilo Uniform. Steve, are you still there? Well, we'll have to try that again later. I got very good Steve Gidger in there. That's just north of Bowling Green. Steve, and I've got his call wrong, but I'm not sure what happened there. Whiskey 4. Hold on. Now, I don't know how I got that messed up. But anyway, Charles, I hear you in there. What you doing? That's Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot Foxtrot.
Good evening, everyone. Also in Cottontown. And, a bit too hot earlier. I was pushing my antenna back up again and started getting real shaky. And my head was real dizzy when I was up on the tower. So I had to get back down. It kind of scared me. And I came in and I checked my pulse. It was 107. Blood pressure 131 over 90. But I had to take a rest there, and I went back out and pushed up with more. So. Also, yesterday I got my CDL back. I had to sit in DMV for 2 hours, but I finally got that back. Now I'm just looking for work. Also, there's a meteor shower from tonight through the 13th. And also there's some storms, but it looks like they're kind of weakening as they go southeast. From what I could tell, they might not be weakening. I don't know. My lightning detector is picking up a little bit up here. And sorry I missed the get-together. I forgot all about it. And what time is that at the barbecue? And that's all I have. Thanks.
8 a.m. Second Tuesday. Excuse me. Second Saturday of every month.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good. I'm glad you got your CDL in line there. And yeah, partly the key to that overheating that I know is you just need to be constantly drinking water, especially when you're out there in the sun and working. It'll tear you up, tear anybody up for that matter. But anyway, I'm glad you're feeling better. And the meteor shower was when?
11th to the 13th, so I guess tonight to the 13th and probably a little bit after. But I can't remember if I told you I'm taking antibiotics too for my ringing in my ears, which is my teeth, got an infection, and the chest congestion. I'm feeling a lot better when I'm taking it. I can tell it after it wears off, I start feeling pretty cruddy again. So I'm just trying to take all my. I do have a question. Amoxicillin, I can't find the paperwork that was on it. Does anybody know if it's safe to drive with that amoxicillin, or does it do drowsiness?
No, there's no drowsiness, but sometimes amoxicillin will give you the drizzling poo-poos, and you got to be careful with that. So if you're driving, you might have some issues there.
That's a good line.
No, I'm serious. Antibiotics can do that to you. You can get some GI problems from that. I know I've had them myself. That's why I know. But yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff. But no, it won't cause any drowsiness or any of that stuff. Unless, no, it won't. That alone won't do it for certain unless you got other serious issues. But all right, good to have you in there, Charles. Good to hear you, and I'm glad you're feeling better. Who else? North of Lebanon Road, north of Division Street.
See if I can do this again. C4WT.
Yeah, I was being a goof there. I couldn't get your first letter right in your call. What was going on? Was it just your beam pointing in the right direction, or was there some just conditions messing you up?
It's just conditions right now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I lost you there after the first little conversation there, but you're okay now. A little scratchier than normal though, so conditions aren't very good.
Yeah, we've got ratty conditions right now. But I give you those numbers. Watching on YouTube. It looks good. K4WT back to that control.
Well, if it looks good, you're looking at the wrong guy.
You're right on that.
There's a lot better looking things on YouTube, that's for sure. All right, good to have you in there, Steve. And that's Steve up in just north of Bowling Green in Kentucky. Who else? Is there anybody else in Kentucky? Is the other Steve around? Nothing heard. Okay, anybody else north before I move on? North of Lebanon Road, north of Division Street. Then west of Mount Juliet, west of Mount Juliet Road, west of Wilson County, all the way out to Memphis.
KM4YRS. Hello, Paul.
So you got to be almost last tonight.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, make you listen to everybody else. Yeah, you're doing good to see you today as well.
Yeah, we had a great time at the breakfast. Enjoyed the conversation and all the shenanigans. So had a great time.
Yeah, somebody will actually have a meeting rather than just goofing around.
Well, I like goofing around a whole lot better than meetings.
Well, that's what's special about our club. We ought to be called it the no rules, no Robert's rules of order, maybe the Robert's rules of disorder.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Yeah, we don't need no stinking rules. All right, good to hear you in there, Michael. That's Michael Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, and he is in Bellshire, northeast of Nashville. Who else we got west of Mount Juliet Road? Got nothing, so we're going to be taking late check-ins from any place, south, north, east, or west. Please come in.
Whiskey 4, Alpha Whiskey Echo.
Just a little slow when I asked for the west again, weren't you?
Slow on the uptake. Yeah, I'm just in the middle of a big consulting project that tripled in size on Friday, so it's had me working around the clock, but it's all good.
Well, helps pay the bills, doesn't it?
That's right. You can't have toys unless you work.
Yeah, familiar with that. I used to always remind myself, because while I enjoyed what I did for a living, sometimes the work turned into tedium just due to the volume, and it was that part wasn't fun, but I just had to remind myself that every day wasn't like that.
Yeah, but it's fun. Fortunately, at least I enjoy it. It's just the deadline aspect seems to be something that in the last 3 or 4 years, everything's rushed and everything is an emergency.
Yeah, it's like a FedEx economy, isn't it?
Email and FedEx, that's sort of how it all revolves around me.
Yeah, I liked it. I saw on Amazon talking about everything's got to be quick. On Amazon now, on Amazon Prime, you can have same-day delivery.
You know, I actually had a couple of items recently that happened, and it ended up being within 4 or 5 hours. And you know, it was almost like an Uber driver, you know, private citizen that delivered it, and I just went, you know, it sort of seems ridiculous.
Well, when FedEx started, people thought that was ridiculous too, but it's used every day, and they got hundreds of planes in the air every day.
Yeah, and UPS showed up this morning. I had forgotten, I guess, that they now do Saturday residential.
Yeah, no, I had that surprise to my wife again. Well, recently, I think it was earlier this year. I said, "Hey, UPS showed up this morning. It was Saturday." She goes, "They don't deliver on Saturdays." I said, "Well, they do now."
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but as long as it's fun and as long as they pay me, it's all good.
Well, it even seems silly when I order some things I really want it, and I finally order it and I get it, and and it doesn't come soon enough. But all I have to remember is what I remembered in service. People say I need the delivery today, and I'll say, well, if you needed it today, why didn't you call me yesterday?
Sometimes it's almost too quick. I mean, there have been several times when I'll grab the phone 10 or 15 minutes later to cancel an Amazon order when I found that I had it.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like anything else. You got to be careful with Amazon too on their pricing and on their delivery. I don't know about Prime, but you have to be careful there too. You have to pay attention to what their delivery costs are. The shipping.
Yeah, I mean, just as a matter, well, especially once they started Tennessee sales tax on Prime, I always check all the other suppliers, and usually you can find somebody for a couple of pennies more with no tax. And, another 2 or 3 days, no big deal.
Yep, I got you. I'm with you because paying dozens of dollars for shipping isn't my idea of a good thing. All right, very good. That's John with an outrageous signal there from West Nashville and Belmont, I'll get in a second. Bellevue, that's where it is. Bellevue, Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo in Bellevue. All right, John, good to have you in there. Who else? I'm glad you're busy, though. Keeps you out of trouble. Who else west of Mount Juliet? Please come in. All righty. Anywhere, actually. Anywhere, any place. That's where we're in late check-ins. Any place, anywhere, north, south, east, or west.
We'll go for Mike India Zulu.
Good to see you this morning, too. You'd missed several of those breakfasts, and then you showed up.
Yeah. Well, I almost didn't do it. I was going to get the boy to take me up there, and I finally quit. I just decided, well, I'd go with Richard. He picked me up, and we went over there, man. That was pretty cool. I didn't say much to anybody, but it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. Well, you gave me trouble. What are you talking about?
Stop it. Hey, I need to know something, Paul. When you when can I make me an appointment?
Make you an appointment for.
Well, you're giving out medical advice over there. I just thought maybe you was a doctor and I need to get me a deal.
Well, I'm really cheap because I have the same advice for everybody. Antibiotics gives you the flying poopies, and if you feel bad, just lay down and drink water.
There you go. All right, thanks.
Yeah, I'm the real generic. I'm gonna open up a shop in Walmart, man. It's the generic medical advice. If you don't feel good, just go lay down, take a nap, drink some water, and take an aspirin.
There you go. That's what they used to say. Here, take an aspirin, go lay down. All right, Paul, man, it was good seeing you this afternoon or this morning and whatnot. Well, you know what? I got me 2 chickens. I got West gave me 2 chickens, so I forgot about that. I need to tell you about that. That's something I got done today. Went to a birthday party. But much more than that.
I take it the other chicken was just begging for somebody else to have a pecking order, so he or she, whichever it is, could be at the top.
I really think it's a boy. I really do. Just because he made the noise, that ain't the reason. He just acts like a boy. He don't act like a girl or anything. He just acts like a masculine little chicken. He's like a little stud out there walking around.
Well, there is one sure test to find out if a chicken's a boy or a girl.
I don't know how to do it, and how much you charge?
Oh, no. The sure test is just observe him in the yard. And if he reaches down and pulls with his wing, pulls feathers out of his butt, that's definitely a boy because girls don't do that.
keep an eye out for that. Oh, but all right. Well, that pretty much sums up the day. Hope everybody out there had a good day today, and y'all take care. And we'll talk to you when we can. KC4, MIZ, back to next control.
Yeah, very good. Glad to have you in there, Kevin. That's Kevin. He's right in the heart, just a little bit west of downtown Lebanon. Kilo Golf 4, Mike India Zulu, right there on Main Street, west of downtown. Anybody else? Late check-ins, anyplace, anywhere?
Kilo Echo 4, Tango Yankee, Juliet, Mobile, and Murfreesboro.
Glad you could come in there. I was wondering where you went tonight. You doing all right? How you doing, James?
We're doing pretty good. Just headed back to the house.
I advise you to show up at the next meeting because, man, I hope your ears weren't burning.
Okay. Do the best I can.
I tell you, we're gonna do it live stream next time. That way, everybody can see everybody.
What is the date of the next meeting?
That would be the second Tuesday of the month, and I can't tell you when that is. I don't have a calendar in front of me, and I really don't want to look it up, but you can.
Second Saturday. Put it down on the calendar.
Well, it's the second Saturday. That ought to give you a clue to, I mean, if you have a calendar, but it is September, the month of September. Hold on. Second Saturday would be the 8th of September. Everybody write that down or memorize the date. September 8th, 2018 to Saturday morning.
Send us a Yahoo reminder.
Oh, you'll be getting a reminder, all right, hopefully. If Yahoo works and I remember and all that, and the creek don't rise. All right, very good. 8th of September. Anything else for the net? Oh, you're mobile, aren't you, Gene?
Yes, sir. I'm mobile.
Yeah, you're coming in good. You must have had that event in Murfreesboro today and just getting home.
Yeah, I'm on the south side of Murfreesboro right now, so I'll let it go back to next control, and I'll catch up with y'all a little bit later. KE4 TYJ mobile.
Yeah, you were bouncing around S6 there on the mobile, so you're doing fine. All right, very good. Is there any other late check-ins? Please come in. Nothing. Now I got to go to the lurkers, lollygaggers, sandbaggers, and scanner listeners. And I'll throw in Russian hackers. Usually they don't check in, they just listen. Scanner listeners, lurkers, sandbaggers, and lollygaggers. Anybody? I got all night. All righty, then we'll close this portion of the net and move on to the the buy, sell, swap, swindle, and trade net. Has anybody got anything? Robin, you want to go first? Have you got your list ready real quick, like?
I'll have to pull it from memory. Actually, I just had one up here in email. That's some Rome 45G tower. Let's see here. 8 straight sections, 2 sections that are bent and repairable, 1 section cut off at the stub end, bent, can be drilled for a concrete section. I got a rotor plate, pointed top section, flat base plate, looking for $16.50 cash for all of that. Also have a Yaesu, a nice Yaesu FT2000, fully functional, Mars mod done on it. 1200 the best offer on that. And have a nice Kenwood TS 850, looking for $550 on that. And a Helicrafters SX111, I think I got $250 on that.
All right, I'm sure nobody could hear you, but you had a Helicrafters with it. It's X-Ray Foxtrot 111. Is that the number on that?
Sierra X-Ray 111.
Oh, just X-Ray 111?
Sierra X-Ray 111, SX111.
Okay, very good. The Sierra X-Ray 111 Helicrafters for $250, a TS 850 for $550, I believe it was. There was an FT 2000. That's a Yaesu or some are prone to say. A FT 2000 for $1,200. and whole big sections. What's the total height on that Roan? If it's all put on, how much is it total on the height?
Easily 100 feet.
All righty, 100-foot tower with some repair necessary. Not a lot, just some repair necessary. Roan 45 tower, and that was, what did you say on that? 1,000 what?
1,650.
All righty, very good. So we got some Roan 45 tower, 1650, the Yaesu FT 2000, and you can contact him at before I finish there at his call, which is Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie at Comcast.net. Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie at Comcast.net. All that stuff. The Helicrafters again, Sierra Vic. No, you said Sierra Victor, right?
Sierra X-ray SX111.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can't read my own writing. The Sierra X-ray 111 at $250. The TS 850 for $500. The FT 2000 at $1,200. And I take it you sold those gin poles, huh?
Yep, 10 poles are gone.
Okay. All righty, no gin poles, but there is a 100-foot or so a Roan 45 tower for $1,650, which is a bargain. Anybody else have anything? Please post that to the site again if you don't mind. And also, anybody else have anything want to buy, sell, swap, trade, or swindle? Nothing. Well, if you do have anything, please post it or send it to me. You can send it to the Yahoo site and reply to one of our messages or whatever. Or you can send it to me and I'll post it. And that's at Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at yahoo.com. Or no, Kilo 4, I'm sorry. It's Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.com. The other ones are my last name at yahoo.com, and nobody wants to spell that. So, anybody else have anything to buy, sell, swap, trade, swindle, or steal? Well, very good. Then we'll close the net. It was a good net so far. I'm going to be here for a little while. And we had 24 on the net. And interestingly enough, I often wonder who listens or doesn't listen. You know, there's got to be some scanner listeners who can hear us drone on the net or otherwise. And last night, I think it was, I wondered that out loud to somebody, and two people popped in and says, "Yeah, we're here." Two different guys, and I haven't heard them check in yet, but they mentioned that they often would catch it on the scanner and listen to our silly mental meanderings. And I just know that there are people out there, I just don't give it much thought on a normal day. Can't, or I'd be nervous, be afraid to say anything. All right, everybody, great. I appreciate all the check-ins. I'm glad there's still a continuing interest in Simplex Radio. We're doing good. We had, I think, a good. You have to tell me if the live feed went goofy on us, but I can't watch it continuously to pay attention. We can only do one or two things at a time. All right, you guys have a great net, great participation, and I appreciate all you guys. And Zoe, the one female that came in on the net, and this is K4PEW closing the net. 73 guys.
W4AWE.
Yo, John.
Hey, I just wanted to let Eddie know W4EBX. His signal tonight is just S9 plus out here to me. I don't know if he put up a new antenna or not, but his signal's almost like yours.
Yeah, you got to remember he's got I think a 40-foot tower, and he just